When I first looked at Howard, I was kind of scared. But he's not to be scared. He's quite interesting. Not to be scared of or by. He's quite interesting, and I found it very wonderful, Howard. You were so open when I was talking to you about your experiences. The first thing I want to do, though, Howard, is ask you about your name, because I was blown away. Howard St. John Longden Thurgood.
Yeah, pass.
Please tell me.
Pass.
Passed. Not quite.
No, it's a name. I'm a Christian, Catholic, by the way. So the parents put the St. John in. Howard was the first name. St. John being a Christian name. The Longden Thurgood part. Thurgood is an old Anglo-Saxon name. My granddad was thinking rich, so he added on the Longden part because it was to be a toff. Those English people here will know what a toff is. He wanted to become a toff. Yeah, a well-to-do.
Very interesting. We don't often get to choose our name, so I found that very fascinating. Why don't you just go ahead and start? You've brought us a wonderful selection of slides. Tell us about your younger life.
Yeah, well, I come from a family of seven children, 5 boys and 2 girls. My father was a nuclear physicist, so I think that's why we had 7 children. Nothing to do with the Catholic Church. So we were born in a little town called Ulverston. That's not the one, is it? That's the town itself, beautiful little town on the edge of the Lake District. We were born in the Lake District. This is Windermere, one of the beautiful lakes, as you can see here. This is interesting because in 1967, Donald Campbell tried to break his, what they call the land speed record. I don't know why they call it land speed when he was doing it in a powered speedboat. His current record, I think, was 403 miles per hour, which is 648 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, I was there at the age of 8 in 67. Unfortunately, he lost control and sustained injuries and passed from his injuries there. So trying to do that land speed record, which has been broken ever since. And I mean, it's probably, I don't know what it is today, but he held the record until 1969. He died in 67. This is just one of the mountains there, Scarfield Pike, in the Lake District. So it is a beautiful part of the world. And I will tell you later about when we went back there. And I'm trying to... Can we go to the next one, please? Oh, thank you. Okay.
How did you get here?
Yeah, well, that was interesting in itself. I was brought up and I spent a lot of my life in the Army Cadets. So I told my father, yes, when I left school, I'm going to go and join the Army. And my father said, no, you're not. I said, well, yes, I am. He said, no, you're not. Well, he did win. He worked for Vickers Shipbuilding on the Polaris submarines. So he got me a job as a design trainee. This is the Polaris submarine itself, about 100 meters long by 10 meters in diameter. I could never go in it. I suffer from claustrophobia. This is our playpen. This was a wooden model of the Polaris submarine, which in those days, in the late 70s, was the way they used to design the submarines. Today, it's all done by graphics. Everything's changed. They also, apart from the Polaris submarines, they started making what they call the Invincible range of aircraft carrier, which these are the jump Harrier jets. So they had a short runway off the aircraft carrier, but these particular ones were noted because it had this ski type of way of launching the aircraft. And so then after this, I spent 4 years here, and we go to the next slide, please. Then after I decided, well, I don't want to be in Vickers Shipbuilding. That is not me. I want to travel the world. So I joined the Merchant Navy. I joined S.A. Helderberg is a part of the SAF Marine. I joined SAF Marine because at the time in Vickers Shipbuilding, I wrote to many companies, shipping companies, and I had offers from 3 companies. One was SAF Marine, the other one was United Arab Emirates, and the other one was BP. BP, they could only offer me a cadetship. United Arab Emirates, I hummed and hawed and said no, and SAF Marine offered me a junior engineer's position, which I thought, well, that sounded good, I'll go for that then. As I sailed from Southampton to Cape Town and around the coast and back and forwards again, I had a nice girlfriend. We used to communicate. I mean, today, the communication is instantaneous. In those days, we used to write letters, and it used to take 3 months for me to send a letter to her, and her to send a letter back to me. Well, I was in love for 3 extra months before I got the Dear John letter from her. So anyway, after that, I decided to do an extra trip and not get off in Southampton in the UK. I got off in South Africa. And then I traveled South Africa for 3 months. Had a wonderful time in South Africa, from Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, up to the Kruger Park, which is the safari parks there. Had a wonderful time. Then on the last weekend I was there, I got a job offer. I thought, well, okay, that's nice. Went back to the UK, so I had a choice. I could either go back to SAF Marine, and it was working on the fruit ships in America, or go to South Africa. Crossroads, then I decided to go to South Africa. Next slide, please. And that's why I went to South Africa, for the wildlife, the safaris. And if you haven't experienced that, I would say, if you haven't, go and experience the safari parks. They are wonderful. You're isolated from the world. Your mobiles don't work. The only place they work is in the campsites, and it is a wonderful experience. That's why I went to, that's what I saw when I went there during the 3 months, and that's why I still enjoy, even today, the safari parks are number 1. Next slide, please.
What was the work you did when you were there?
Oh, I was an engineer. I studied at Cape Town University, became a mechanical engineer, and worked various companies in South Africa. AECI, Sappi Paper Mill, and then Petro SA, which was the gas to liquids plant, which then led to other things when I left South Africa. This is interesting. This is some of the photos. That's my son-in-law, my one daughter, my other daughter, and this is interesting. During one trip, my daughter didn't know, but we all knew that he was going to propose to her in the park, but and during a walk, and we were all supposed to go on this walk together. But the night before, my wife she got sick, my daughter got nervous about walking, and I suddenly fell over and twisted my ankle, so I couldn't. So they had to go out on the walk, early morning walk, with a guide, obviously, because you're in the park. The guide always has a rifle with him. So they went out to the park together. She had not a clue what was going to happen, and that was what happened. He proposed to her in the Kruger Park, so that was wonderful for them. Next slide, please. Okay, in South Africa, I used to do a lot of cycle riding. This is the Cape Cycle Tour. It's one of the biggest cycle tours in the world. They have over 30,000 cyclists that participate. They set off in Cape Town itself, here at the start, go off in groups of 500. The first one sets off at about 5:30 sunup, and the last group goes out at about 11:30. So I was about midfield, not near the front, not near the back, but midfield. And in 2020, in this area here, which is called Misty Cliffs, we're going up this area. We were a fast group overtaking a slow group. And what happens is that the slow group wants to latch on to the fast group and get a tow. And that's when they all moved out and then pushed me down the side of the mountain. Badly injured myself, had to be airlifted into hospital. The interesting thing was there was a medical station just close by here around the corner, and they suspected I had internal bleeding, so they ordered a helicopter to pick me up, which landed right next to the tent, blew the tent over, and then took me in. Anyway, next year, after recovering from all my injuries, I wasn't to be outdone. I wanted to finish. I wanted to finish something that I started. So anyway, we got to this point, great. The other side of this point, it's a long downhill. And in front of me, we were a group of cyclists like this going downhill around about 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. And two of the cyclists in front of me, their handlebars locked into each other, and they went down. And they went down right in front of me. And all I could think was, oh crap, that's going to hurt. Anyway, luckily, as the bikes came towards me, the one pedal dug into the tarmac, and just shifted them slightly out of my way. I clipped the one guy, didn't fall, and was able to finish the race. And I must say, as I came over the line, I was in tears. From all the drama the year before and surviving this one, I was in tears, but yes. Thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, after South Africa, I went to work in the Middle East in a place called Qatar. I'll go through each one. This was one of our working meetings, a lunch working meeting, which was a meeting that we had for brainstorming session. So we would go around the table and, have you got anything to add or say? Anyway, this particular chap here, it came to him, Khaled, and he said, yes, I need another wife. I only have 3. I need a 4th wife. Can you advise me on this? I've got to speed it up. Okay, these are the camels. This is that's my family when they came out. That was their mode of transport. Mine was the H2. This is us camping in the desert. We often camped in the desert. The interesting thing about the H2, not very economical. I would get 26 liters per 100 kilometers, which is in gallon term 9-point-something miles per gallon. So, but in Qatar, petrol was cheaper than water. As I said, we often this is a cross between a Saluki and a Border Collie, but the dog that they like in the Middle East is called a Saluki, and it's like a greyhound. Every year they have a race in the desert, and they set them all up line, and like greyhound racing in the UK. So we didn't know what to expect, what the lure was going to be like. But anyway, the dogs are all there lined up. Next thing, this pickup came around with this, what they call an oryx, or antelope or deer, hanging off the back with its legs going like this, as all 50-odd dogs ran down the track after it. Next slide, please. Okay, this was I was 60 at this time, 61, so I don't think it was a midlife crisis. So anyway, when I decided that I'm going to buy myself a Harley Davidson and join the Harley Davidson club, this is the Namibian chapter that I joined. HOG is the HOG Owners Group, and each member of the group, it's it's not what you really think. It's a family-orientated club. And we have many events that we go to. We ride together in formation. If we go to the next slide, this is the Skeleton Coast Rally, which we participated in Namibia, which is used to be called Southwest Africa. To ride in formation, you have to train. You cannot just go and ride like this. You have to take an advanced course to be able to ride in a formation like this. This is part of your membership of being in that club. But this was really nice. I enjoyed it. I enjoy it today, even though I don't have a Harley here. I ride a Honda at the moment, but it still is an H, I suppose. But my Harley is in South Africa, where it should be. It's a nice place to ride. Next slide, please. Okay, I did travel Africa, Southern Africa. This is the Vic Falls. The Vic Falls, impressive. If you haven't been, I really do suggest go to a safari, go visit Cape Town, the Table Mountain, and go to the Vic Falls if you can ever, because it is impressive. I mean, it's 1.8 kilometers long by about 100 odd meters in height. It has various tributaries, but that's the largest one, which is about half a kilometer in length, and it's impressive. When the water's flowing like this, it is so impressive. Next slide, please. Okay, this was a reunion in 2024. Okay, let's go to this first. This was in March. That's my mother. Unfortunately, my father passed away during COVID in 2021. But my mother, we celebrated her 90th. My father was 94. We celebrated her 90th birthday. The whole family got together. This was the first time in 40 years that we got together as a family. Which has obviously grown since the 7. There was about nearly 30 of us all celebrating the 90th her birthday. And my daughter, a few weeks later on the 8th, had her first, so my first grandchild, Sasha. Wonderful. Thank you. Next slide, please. And I think this is self-explanatory. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes in the middle of nowhere you find yourself. And that's riding the motorcycle. What is nice.
Fascinating, Howard. I want to thank you so much for sharing with us, and after our time together, there are so many other stories that he shared. Your time in Russia, quite an adventurous man over the years. I wanted to ask one quick question. How did you get involved with expats, and why?
Let me think about that, actually. I got involved with expat because I arrived here in Thailand. A friend of mine asked me to come over for a holiday. I came over for a holiday and stayed. Got my retirement visa and stayed. Somebody mentioned to me that there is a club of expats. Join them because there's a lot of information, wealth of information you can get from them. But it's a good club, it's a good organization. Very friendly and very active. And today we can see there's a lot of people here today. And I joined the committee as a secretary. We're also having a general board meeting, I think, in the next couple of months. So we are looking for newer, younger members like myself to be on the board. And I also encourage anybody who has got anything to share, like this. You know, this is just a few things that I thought was interesting to share with everybody. But it's also me and you getting to know one another. And when other people come up here, we all get to know one another. Instead of sitting in our little groups every week, we get to know a little bit more about one another. Okay, I encourage anybody, put their hand up and come up here and be brave and do this as well.
And it's very easy. don't be frightened to come up and be interviewed. I know both of the interviews that I've done have had wonderful slides to share, which makes it so much more exciting. If you don't have pictures, don't worry. Your life is exciting. You've had many adventures, and it's just a great way for all of us to get to know all of you. So I encourage you to volunteer to come up and be interviewed. Thank you so much, Howard. I really appreciate our time together.
Renin stereo, what you've always dreamed about. So thank you, Howard. And yes, please put your hand up so we can get to know, everybody can get to know you better. Now, of course, we're moving on to open forum. We hope people will